Confidence in the UK economy today from the outgoing governor of the Bank of England. This isn't a typical recession and it won't be a typical recovery, he said. And as if to prove his point, a curious high street turf war has broken out. The pound shops, which have come of age this downturn, are vying to undercut each other by knocking off the pennies. How low can they go? And what does this tell us about the way we now shop? We sent Stephen Smith from Newsnight's own bargain basement to search for truths.
First, there was the pound store. If that was a bit rich for your blood, there was the 99p store. Now goods are going for just 97p. The pennies dropped that we Brits love a bargain.
And every time it rains, and it's from heaven.
Shooby-dooby!
Don't you know each cloud contains Spanish from heaven?
Shooby-dooby!
Now, cheap and journalism are two words I never thought I'd hear myself use together. But we felt we had to investigate the value shopping phenomenon at this 99p store in North London.
Shining ravioli.
Macaroni!
I'm quite addicted actually to the pound shop.
Addicted to the pound shop. What do you like about it?
The fact that you feel actually rich when you come into shops like this, because everything gets the same price, so you can't really get confused.
It's upside down, we live up.
Could I have a little word with you for Newsnight? If you saw something that was too cheap, would it arouse your suspicion, or is it the more the merrier, the less the merrier?
I'd just leave it there.
Would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it.
There's no kind of stigma about it, about coming to a place like this. It's, you know, you don't feel there's any kind of embarrassment.
Absolutely not. I'm a middle class, woman, and I deal with my friends, and they are lawyers and solicitors, and they go to the pound shop with no problems at all.
There's another pound shop. Don't tell anybody. There's another one just up the road.
What are they like?
Which is very good on a certain type of biscuit and a certain type of toothpaste.
She must mean this place, Poundland. Despite the signage, they're now selling some items for just 97p.
There are two schools of thought. One is they're running scared, that if they think that that literally a penny difference means they have to take 3p off their standard prices, they must be a bit frit. On the other hand, they would argue that it's competition red in tooth and claw, and they're not going to let anybody else eat their lunch.
Do you enjoy facts about cut-price retail? Well, Poundland opened its first store in 1990 and now has 450, serving 4.5 million customers in the UK. It hopes to open 60 new shops every year. 99p stores launched their first branch in 2001 and now have around 200, serving 1.5 million customers.
I don't think it's a race to the bottom because these companies are actually highly professional. They've got great systems behind them. They stock very well-known brands. So I think they're having a spat and they'll see how far they have to push it. Obviously, they don't like cutting prices any more than they have to.
As the pound stores become the less than a pound stores, we wait to see who will make the next move in knocking a copper or two off the price of goods. But one thing's for certain, there will be more change.
Steve Smith. Here now is the co-founder of the 99p stores chain, Hussein Lalani, and from Leeds, Dan Thompson, who runs a series of projects across the UK finding alternative uses for empty shops. And a warm welcome to both of you. Thanks very much for joining us. Hussein Lalani, is 97p now the new pound, or could it go lower than 97?
I think the 97p is really a bit of a gimmick to draw back some of the customers they lost when we opened our stores next to them. Poundland has had this strategy when we open up near them. We obviously impact on their business model, take some of their customers, and the only way they feel they can fight back is by, chipping a couple of coppers off their price.
So pound now seems like bad value. Could 97p seem too expensive? I mean, what's to stop you going lower?
Well, for a start, we won't go lower because we're not being impacted by Poundland. We're not being affected in that way. And the way we try to, outdo our competitors is by offering better value and better value products and offer the customer a better product.
When you say better value, I'm going to look at some of the things we've got. We picked up a few from the stores today. Some ladies' handkerchiefs, some tights, some stuff for the bath. This one, some mints. Now that, you know, you might recognise as a much smaller box than usual. Is that why it's cheaper?
So what is the usual size box then? The question,
it's bigger, it's longer, isn't it? It's a longer size box.
What is the usual size box? I mean, boxes of chocolates come in many different sizes. You get a more small snack size, you'll get a medium pack, you'll get an economy pack. And, you know, the fact that the products change is quite common in the grocery market. In fact, chocolate bars, packs of biscuits, washing powder, they've all been changing up and down in sizes over the last decade.
Dan Thompson, what do you make of this phenomenon? It is now a race to the bottom, is it?
Well, it reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where the Simpson family have gone from the 99-cent store, their budget's going down, they ended up at the 33-cent store. There's a bit of it feels like a bit of a race to the bottom, but these shops offer a service that we need, a product that we need, a price that we're happy with. So I don't think they're going to go down too far.
Who do you think will win this one? I mean, what is not the name, but the business model?
I think they've both won. They've got great publicity out of this. For a few pence difference in price. It's fantastic publicity for these shops who they are changing the face of retail in Britain. They're making our high streets different places.
And is there a customer profile that's very different now at your shops?
It has changed a lot. I think through the recession, we're finding that all walks of life come into our stores, and we're opening stores in many different types of shopping areas. You know, from your sort of high-end shopping areas, quite affluent areas, we're getting a lot more middle class coming into our stores. So it really has a lot more mass appeal and a lot more mainstream. The fact that we're here on Newsnight discussing it just shows how mainstream our businesses have become.
Dan, do you think if the economy picks up, these business models, these kinds of chains, then collapse, or are they here for good?
I don't think this is just a recession issue. The high street is changing massively. That's down to supermarkets, digital. The way we shop has changed. Online is so important, and that's all about price. So I think these stores are going to hang around. I'm up in Leeds working with a group of young people on a project called Retail Ready People, looking at how the high street is changing, and it's not going to be the high street that we know in 5 to 10 years' time.
What's interesting about the way people are using the pound stores now is that maybe at one time, or before the recession really hit, it was sort of hardware, it was bric-a-brac for the home. Yeah. Now it's actual daily food shopping, right?
That's right.
It's, you know, we've got sausages and cheese and all the stuff. People are using these as an alternative to supermarkets. Is that what you want to be?
That is right. I think what we found through the recession, we found that people were coming to us to buy products which we were known for, hardware, maybe household cleaning, and then they'd go to a supermarket to buy fresh meat and cheese and products like that.
So you're trying to take on the Tesco's of this world now, are you?
Absolutely. The supermarkets are my big competitors. And what we try to do is all the products we sell, we make sure that they offer better value or they're at a better price than the supermarket.
Dan, I mean, would you be confident to do your weekly shopping, your daily shopping now for fresh food at a Poundland shop?
I do use Poundland. I use Poundland back home in Worthing, and I'll shop wherever I can get the things I need at the price I need, and it's convenient. Sometimes that's local shops, sometimes it's the supermarket, sometimes it's Poundland. That we take what's best for when we need it.
You mentioned online, which has obviously had a major impact, and the out-of-town stores. Is this the future now of the high street? I mean, is the future of the high street going to be bargain shopping?
The high street has to be something different. The high street is going to be a whole mix of things, I think, and that's why the projects I work on are so important, and Poundland is so important, because the high street isn't going to be the clone town. It's not going to be one style of shop. It's going to be lots of different things happening, which is perhaps an older model of how our town centres used to be.
Thank you both very much indeed. Thanks for joining us.